We have a storm system that's gonna begin to develop in in the southern plains in eastern Texas. I think let me Louisiana and Arkansas. So there's a chance of severe storms here, and we got a lot of snow that will be dropped between from Missouri up to eastern Wisconsin. Just lots of rain just in the eastern US here. So we're gonna get into why that is. And to start, we're gonna look at the 500 millibar chart, or 500 millibars. The millibar is, or bar is, a unit of pressure. And since atmospheric pressure decreases the higher you go, we can relate that to height, essentially. And we're looking at like 5.5 kilometers high in the atmosphere. These little numbers are given in decameters, so keep that in mind. And the closer these lines are, the faster the wind will go because of pressure gradient stuff. Just fancy talk that we don't really need to get into. So here you can probably see these like little squiggly lines just going up and down. These are shortwave troughs, and these are pretty important because now, and also the jet streak right here, which this is the jet stream right here. This is pretty important because this is starting to deepen these little troughs, and it's gonna continue to deepen them because of these high winds right here. So if we continue as time goes on, with this jet streak still on the left side, it's going to continue to deepen this little trough here further down into the southern US. And it's at this point where it's just in between. And then it begins to shift to the right side to where it starts to stretch it a bit north here and also eject it up north. So here, focus on the this right here. You can see it gets forced upwards, and it turns into a little closed circulation right there. And there it goes. It's gone. Never to be seen again. So there's that. So what does that mean? Well, what that means is, since it's dug so deep down into the southern US, this means we can go into the lower levels of the atmosphere. We go to Wednesday here. You could see parts of the trough form here. Yeah. So winds right here. There's a low level jet right here. It starts pulling up moisture from the Gulf and whatever moisture is here as well. And it continues to do that for a bit until moisture is quite considerable in Texas and Louisiana, and also quite a bit of moisture in the Midwest and central US. And here you can see closed circulation right here in this trough as well, associated with the one we saw previously in the 500 millibar chart. And you can see, just as seen in the 500, you can see it eject upwards like that, all the way up at a pretty fast pace too. Really look at that. So we can have a look at the dew point, which is the absolute measure of moisture. Here you can see 60-degree dew point. This is a lot of moisture, like quite a bit of moisture. And severe storms require quite a bit of moisture, so this area is definitely under a threat of severe storms as of the current runs of models. But you could also see the moisture in the Midwest here increasing, quite a bit. You can see this little cutting edge on the moisture. That's a cold front. Forcing up moisture, creating some storms and clouds, all that goodies. If we go to the surface here, we could see the low pressure system, again associated with the trough in the upper levels, begins to show up right here. I'll put into perspective. 1,000 millibars is generally normal. I think the average normal atmospheric pressure is 1,013 millibars. I could be wrong on that, but that's generally the idea. So it begins to form right there. You can see some rain develops right there behind the low pressure system. Snow begins to develop right here in Kansas. It begins to eject northeastern right here. Lots of rain right here according to this model forecast, which I would believe. Continues to go up, deepens a bit, 997 millibars. Lots of snow begins to develop right here, 992. More snow, lots of rain, and it just sends a wave of showers across the eastern U.S. So there's that. We have the potential for severe storms. The model I'm using, GFS, isn't particularly good at showing radar simulated stuff and precipitation related things, at least in my opinion. So we'll have to see when short range models that allow or that are better accurate at simulating this stuff come into play. So we can expect quite a bit of snow, quite a bit of snow occurring from this line here, and some severe storms right here. This was interesting enough for me to talk about in video, and well, this is my first time discussing something on video, so there are probably a few mistakes and a few things I left out or whatever, but you know, I'm trying to get better at this, so this is good practice for me. That's all I have to talk about right now, so thank you for listening in, and we'll see what happens.